Hello, and welcome to Colonial Beach. This video is designed to help you understand the Positive Behavior Interventions and Support, or PBIS, program that Colonial Beach schools will be participating in through Virginia Tiered Systems of Support, or VTSS. In this video, we would like to introduce you to the 4 values of Colonial Beach and what they mean for you as a member of the Colonial Beach Schools community. If you have been in our schools, you may have noticed posters and charts in hallways, classrooms, and bathrooms. This matrix is broken down into 4 sections based off of the values that we have chosen as a school. Be respectful, be safe, be accountable, and be a community. Each of these values represents an overarching theme that we can refer to with our behavior in any situation. Number 1, be respectful. What does it mean to be respectful? Does it mean to stand at attention all day and never have any fun? Not in this instance. As part of our matrix, respect means having due regard for others, their rights, wishes, and opinions. All of us spend most of our time in our own heads, and it can be difficult to see others in the way we see ourselves. It is easy for me to know the things that I need and want because I'm me. Respectfulness helps us to imagine others in a more complex way. Let's look at an example. Susie is on her way to lunch and is greeted by a very long line. If she goes to her place in line, it will take a long time to get food. Then Susie sees her friend Lisa closer to the front of the line. If Susie joins Lisa, then she will get her food sooner. Should Susie join Lisa or take her place at the end of the line? If you said go to the back of the line, you were thinking with respect. Each of the people in line is a person, just like Susie. They are all hungry and none of them want to be at the end of the long line. If Susie cuts, she will be making their wait longer and dismissing their needs. Number 2, be safe. Being safe at CB schools means working to make sure we limit exposure to risk or danger. Most safety risks are easy to spot, but there are some times that we can put ourselves and others at risk without even realizing it. Let's look at an example. Malcolm has lots of stuff that he needs to bring to school each day. He has a large backpack to carry all his stuff, as well as a bag for baseball. As Malcolm comes into his classroom, he sets his stuff on the floor in the aisle next to his desk. Instructor, pause the video here to discuss how Malcolm's actions could be considered unsafe and what he could do instead. As you can probably see, Malcolm's stuff creates a tripping hazard for others in the classroom. There are several ways that Malcolm could help to reduce this risk. He could come in early and leave his baseball bag in the locker room. Or he could store his stuff underneath his desk. Number 3, be accountable. Accountability can mean a lot of things. For our purposes, accountability is knowing the things that you need to take care of and taking care of those things. This can be homework, personal hygiene, behavior, or simply things like knowing where your bus stop is. Let's go back to the cafeteria for our next example. Jordan has just finished eating their lunch, and the bell rings to go to class. Jordan's next class is to the right, but the trash cans are to the left. Jordan knows that they might be late if they take their garbage to the trash can. They could just leave their trash on the table and go to class. Besides, isn't that what the lunch workers are paid for? What should they do? This all comes back to Jordan understanding what they are responsible for. This is a mess that Jordan is accountable for. And while it is true that someone else could and most likely would clean up their trash, it is not their job or responsibility. Number 4, Be a community. Here at Colonial Beach, we are all drifters, and being part of that drifter community means supporting each other, not just through hard times and challenges, but through our successes too. In order to make our school thrive, we need to work together toward our common goals and make sure to encourage those around us to do the same. Let's look at our last example. Tiana is a new student at Colonial Beach. She started in the middle of the year and doesn't really know anyone yet. She sits alone at lunch, got the last empty seat in class, and doesn't really talk to anyone in the hallway. Instructor, pause the video and discuss how students can show that they are a community in their interactions with Tiana. Hopefully you were able to discuss how students can make Tiana feel welcome and part of our drifter community. Today we discussed the 4 values here at Colonial Beach. As you go about your days, remember, be respectful, be safe, be accountable, and be a community. Thanks for watching, Drifters!